What's going on, everybody? Ahab here with another Cities Skylines video. What I have for you here today is just a simple video about the mods that I have for my Cities Skylines. And everybody has, or most people that play Cities Skylines, has their go-to mods. And there's tons of videos out there that have recommended mods, what you should have, what you shouldn't have. Uh, everybody that has any sort of City Skylines videos on their YouTube channel has recommended mods, and mine fall kind of in line with a lot of the ones you would see elsewhere. And basically, I'm making this video to reinforce that the mods that I have, I feel, are they add a significant amount of capability to the game, and really they just add so much more to the game with regards to, well, I'll show you. I'll just, instead of mumbling on, I'll show you here. Okay, so first and foremost, and the one that I think is most important, is Traffic Manager President's Edition. And you can see the icon down here, the lovely little crown and light, and all the different options that comes with that. And for those of you who don't know, traffic management is key in City Skylines. If you can't manage traffic, your industry's not going to thrive, your commercial areas aren't going to thrive, and your residents aren't going to be able to get to and from their homes, to and from work, to and from shopping areas, etc. And tourism, I mean, the game will struggle. There's a whole YouTube channel, I think it's Biffa Plays Indie Games. Biffa is, he has a whole playlist devoted to people sending in their traffic horrid situations in cities, and he fixes them. And with just great commentary on why he's doing what he's doing. And one of the mods that he uses that is intrinsic in fixing traffic issues is Traffic Manager. So for those of you who might not know, somehow stumbled upon my video before others, Traffic Manager, it adds microcontrol to the streets and intersections within City Skylines. So, for example, this circle here coming off of the highway. You know, in earlier versions of the game, you would have traffic lights in this intersection. So these people coming into the intersection where this police car is and this truck are coming into it, they would actually stop and wait. And the lights would sometimes affect the traffic circles. If the traffic circles were non-highway roads, this is a highway road that I have here for this one. So it could really impede what the amount of traffic a traffic circle could handle. So for one thing that you can do is set up who's yielding in the intersections and who gets to go. This is just shows you an example here. So everybody coming in on Peters Boulevard here to make the right-hand turn onto the circle, they have to yield at traffic into the circle. And of course, you want the traffic in this situation in the circle to have right of way. And it's the same here, and it's the same here. Now, I had a little bit of an issue when I messed with this particular intersection here, where when there were a lot of traffic coming in off the highway, it kind of came to a standstill because some of that traffic wants to go up here, some of that traffic wants to go over here, some of that traffic wants to go all the way around here. So I've just left these blank, this one blank. So that's just one example of what Traffic Manager does. Other example, more specifically, as I said, is you can add and remove traffic lights. You can add timed traffic lights, which I tried over here with these 5 lights here, and boy did I fail miserably at that. So I just turned the traffic lights back to game managed, self-managed, and they seem to be doing okay. The traffic still backs up here, not as bad as it used to, and pretty much the reason for that is lane management, which is just amazing. Now, there's 2 different versions of lane management in Traffic Manager. You have just generic change lane arrows, and that is specific in terms, or general, sorry, in terms of where the cars go. So you can see here with these 3 lanes, so these lanes are just set to make right turns. Okay, but they're just making right turns. They don't specifically have any lane to go to in this one-way 6-lane road here. And then you can see the 3 lanes here go straight. So that's one version of lane control. Another version, and that's tied to it, is the lane connector. And you can see this intersection is actually pretty complicated, what I've done here. So with this intersection, with these 3 right turn lanes, you can see this lane goes to the first 2, this lane goes to the second 2, this lane goes to the third 2. And similar with the 3 lanes over here, the centermost lane goes to the right 2 lanes, the middle lane goes to the middle 2 lanes, and the left lane goes to the left 2 lanes. And you can see I've done the same thing. I've manually put these in. And this is great because if you notice in some locations, like for example this road here, I had it would back up all the way from this intersection here in the 2 middle lanes. It would back up all the way to this on-ramp coming off the highway. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what was needed for this intersection to get things flowing correctly. So, you know, in order to get this working, as you can see, I put in a massive amount of changes up here too. So anywhere where these colored lines are, is where I've put in, and where you're able to use Traffic Manager to put in manual control of where the cars actually go. So you can zoom in there. Excuse me. I've done a whole bunch there, done a handful here, a couple here. I've done some on this road to prevent people from changing lanes, so that people that want to go straight or make the left turn here can actually do that. Previously, before I put these controls in, all of these lanes would get blocked and it would just exacerbate itself. You can see I've done some lane control here as well with this traffic circle. Traffic Manager is just fantastic. It's also, you have the ability to disable parking. You can set vehicle restrictions, which I've done on this road here. I've prevented heavy trucks from coming into this area, because what I don't want them doing is coming out of this industrial area and taking a shortcut across the bridge here and up here or to this industrial area. I wanted to force them to go onto the highway and over to here, so to speak. So that's Traffic Manager. It's really, honestly, if you want to limit yourself to one mod in Cities Skylines, one mod that affects how the game plays, it's definitely Traffic Manager. I would go for that above everything else. Okay, let's see here. The next mod that I have that I really enjoy is the Move It mod. I like to move it. And that's a unique mod that I honestly still haven't fully grasped its capabilities. I've seen, as I mentioned, Biffa before and a couple other YouTubers use Move It for just insane amounts of intricate details and getting things to fit where they really shouldn't. And I used Move It to make this huge off-ramp area, to make sure that all these different off-ramps and on-ramps and over-ramps and etc. could fit in with the way I have the trains here. And then I actually moved a couple of supports. I moved this support here so that I could fit in these 2 landfills. That's just a small example. Move It, you can move... I don't know if it's anything in game, but I think it's anything in game. You can pretty much move anything that you want. And like, for example, say you don't like how this particular curve is looking. You know, you can totally change just how that curve is looking without redoing the road itself. Or, you know, up here for this traffic circle here, I used it a bunch to make sure that this curve wasn't just a 90-degree turn. I used Move It a little bit right here. It's not working out too well. You can see the shadowing on the road is kind of messed up there. I used Move It to do a little bit of height adjustment there. It can move. I mean, I just picked up a random tree and it you know, actually deform the ground there. This is another mod that I'm not going to go into depth about because I don't know as much about it as I do Traffic Manager. But it's really good. Oh, another place I used Move It was down here when I made this. So this is kind of like a beltway for the whole city, just to make sure that all the highways get connected up, right? So that the folks coming in from this out of town, coming into town from here, don't have to go all the way up and then through the city if they want to just come over here to this industry, for example, or in the future when I have my college that I plan to build here. So I used Move It to make sure that the tunnel that I built from here to here, and this road goes up, circles around like that. I used Move It to make sure it was able to connect well and that it wasn't ridiculously weird turns, to make sure that the cars could maintain speed, and to make sure that these roads were as close as they were. So that's another mod. And let's see, what else do I have in here? Oh, Roundabout mod. Roundabout mod is great. So roundabouts in City Skylines are your friend. I mean, let me see here. There's a roundabout in there. There's a roundabout. There's a roundabout. Big old roundabout here. There's a roundabout. I've got one over here. Here's one that I've made with the roundabout mod. And really, I don't know if I'd call it a mod as much as a tool. That's up for debate. But roundabout mod, basically you're able to take a point on a road. Oh, I made another one there too. Take a point on a road and create a perfectly circular roundabout without having to do the manual version of the roundabout. Now, the manual version of the roundabout is something like, if you haven't seen it, it's something like this. You make a stretch of road. Just like that. And then you connect them. And then you go in and delete these, and there you have it. I mean, it's a pretty sexy looking roundabout if you ask me. But the roundabout mod is really easy. Let's see if I remember how to get here. We go. All right, so roundabout builder. 2-lane road. Let's make it a, oh, I don't know. Let's make it a, let's make it a 6-lane road, just for the heck of it. All right, so then adjust how wide it is. I'm going to put it up to 60, and you just hover over a point. Boom, done. I don't need to do the 4x4 cross and do it, and you just have your perfect roundabout. Now, the one downside about the roundabout tool is it will edit the terrain around it automatically to make sure the roundabout fits. And we go back up to some of these I've built with the tool. You can see that, especially this one here. You can see that, you know, the terrain here and all around the roundabout, excuse me, got edited by the tool. I'm not sure how it does that, and I can't say I've noticed it affecting the cost of building the road. That's something I would have to look more at depth in, but it's a great tool. And I'm going to put links in the video info, just in case folks don't know where to get this. As I said in one of my earlier videos, I play Cities Skylines from Steam, I should say. So I get all of my mods from the Steam Workshop, and in my opinion, it is a fantastic tool. There's so much in the modding community for Cities Skylines. Like this off-ramp here, this circular off-ramp is an asset that you can get. I got from there. This is the same one. This is the same one. Gosh, what other assets have I gotten? Just as examples. I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head. But there are a lot. I don't download too many assets. I know people who go crazy with assets because they like to customize their game. And for me, I'm still in a way kind of discovering the game in a way. Like I haven't really completed a city yet because I got into Cities Skylines, and then I got into some other games, and I came back to Cities Skylines, and I got into some other games, and I got into Cities Skylines again. So it's kind of a back and forth thing with me and Cities Skylines. All right, so that is that. So what else do I have here? I have Ultimate Eye Candy. Ultimate Eye Candy is great, especially for someone who's making videos or streaming Cities Skylines for just editing time of day. Woo! Let's see, there it is. I like to make it 10:30 when I make my videos, just to make it nice and bright so you can see everything. And most importantly, you can just turn off the day and night cycle without pausing the game. That way, you know, you don't have to worry about, at least for me when I'm recording videos, night coming along and not being able to see anything. I use a color correction mod called Clarity, which I will also link, that it makes the game look fantastic, but the nights are dark as all get out. Like you can't see the water reflecting or refracting light. You just see the lights from the ships. You just see the lights from the shipyards. You know, there's no lights over in this area here except for the highway and the roads at night. It's really neat, but it's kind of frustrating if you're trying to build something at night, or I'm trying to shoot a video here like I am right now. All right, let me see. What else do I have here? I think that really rounds it up. I'm sure I have a couple of other smaller mods that I'm forgetting about, but I really don't use them, or they don't impact the game enough for me to bring them up. But for the ones I've mentioned, Traffic Manager, Roundabout Tool, Ultimate Eye Candy, I'll put links for those in the video info below. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll get back to you all as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me, and have a good one.